Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, good Tuesday night to all of you out there in North Mississippi. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and you are here for Mississippi Live Weather at 10. A great night across the area, but could get a little bit more action-packed during those overnight hours. Tracking a little bit of rainfall working its way through the region. Emphasis on a little bit, because it's going to be light showers and not going to be impacting everybody, just for some as that line works its way through the region. So not going to be exactly our washout type forecast, but later on in the week that does move into our forecast. That's what we're expecting getting into our Thursday and especially by Friday as that frontal system works its way into the region. But the big headline tonight is giving back to North Mississippi. How you can do so here in Tupelo. Our chief meteorologist Matt Lawpon will have the latest on that. Just an exciting time and one that we definitely want to take advantage of to give back to everyone here in North Mississippi. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. Gabe, it's Tuesday at 10. What are the results? Well, let me refresh it here behind the scenes, but we do have those results in place, and it looks like we do have a winner after, yes, a record-setting 10,000 votes for our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. Looking at those numbers, our winner tonight, Pontotoc versus West Point down there in Titletown. Going to be a great one between the Pontotoc Warriors and the Green Wave. Hopefully it's a pretty good one, but West Point puts on quite a show and knows how to win those games. So Pontotoc, a little bit of an uphill battle, but excited to see it in action. I want to say, folks in Titletown and folks in Pontotoc, when we're talking about votes, 2,700 just for that game. East Webster and Charleston putting up a good battle as well. 2,100 there. We do have a decent output. Okolona trying to go back to back. They had 1,600 votes. And whenever we look at Aberdeen and Winona, also a good battle, 1,800. And then Choctaw and Noxubee, it's going to be a great game for sure. 1,600 votes. A replay of, I believe, the 3A. I think it's 3A title matchup last year. So they're running it back early in the playoffs for this year, and it should be a great one. Excited to hear how that game goes, but we'll see Pontotoc versus West Point live. And now all we need is band and Spirit Squad photos so we can get those votes going for sure. But it's a good one nonetheless. We are tracking some rain chances there for Friday, so any of those games that are in place might need that rain gear paired with it. Tonight, any of those late night plans will need that rain gear around. 65 degrees by 11, but 10% chances pushing in already by 2 a.m. Lingering in that forecast by 5 a.m. And for those really early morning commuters, might need that rain gear handy, but only 10% of the area, and a lot of that drying up as we head into the rest of our morning means a lot of us shouldn't need any rain gear, and it's still going to be a mild forecast. Temperatures starting in the mid-60s for the start of your Wednesday. Yeah, that's pretty unheard of for this time of year, but no complaints here in North Mississippi. Smithville, a beautiful night tonight, 66 degrees, getting a good bit of those stars in the sky. Just a beautiful night overall. Dew points currently at 61 degrees, and that's the big driver in this forecast was, will the moisture return as this front pushes on through? Seems like it's doing exactly that, and we do have those potential for a few showers overnight because that dew point is a little bit higher than what models were projecting a couple of days ago. Pontotoc, 66 degrees, still 61 degree dew points, a great shot there of the night sky. Still mostly clear conditions as those winds blow out of the south, returning some of that moisture, so getting the atmosphere primed for a few of those showers and storms to take place. 70 degrees still in Rolling Fork, and guys, it is 10 o'clock in November. And it's 70 degrees. My word, where are you, November? Where are you, fall? I thought we were here for the long run, but it seems like we've just trended right on back. Mississippi Live Weather Radar staying dry and clear once again. We did have a little bit of movement earlier on over the last 3 hours. You did have this batch of showers just work its way through the region. My wife, she let me know, she's like, Gabe, it says rain detected close to home. Well, it was just one of those little outflows that just got a hold of it just a bit and got a little bit of those showers working their way through Lee County. Again, no complaints because the Maynor household does need some rain, and we got exactly that, but not exactly impactful rain as we look at some of those rainfall totals again over the past 3 hours, because beyond that, no rainfall was expected. A couple hundredths of an inch there. I'm going to clear this off and highlight in another total here real quick. Let's go over there towards Boonville. We can get a number. So a couple hundredths here and there. But yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the highest rainfall output. So if we're nitpicking that, shows you how excited we are for some higher rainfall totals moving forward. But those rain chances currently sitting well north this line, getting a little bit more defined from Little Rock out here towards Dyersburg and Humboldt, Tennessee. That working its way into that south or east-southeast direction, giving us the chances at maybe a few rumbles of thunder, as you do see about 320 strikes within this line. But our primary threat will be some decent rainfall outputs right along that main line as it gets into North Mississippi. Reason why we're not exactly concerned about the severe weather threat, just not a lot of energy for that atmosphere to take advantage of. So we have rain in the forecast, but fortunately no severe weather is expected. As of right now, where we sit on this surface analysis, that front really the big driver in this forecast, but you can already see out there towards Texas and Oklahoma how it's starting to shift that pattern more to a stationary front allowing for storms to develop right over the top of it, but doesn't exactly have a ton of movement with it. So that's why if this starts to shift to a stationary front, which is what we expect it to do, then we'll get a decent output of rain chances for our Wednesday as a result. Severe thunderstorm watch wrapping up at the 10 o'clock hour, so you do see that right here. That was for Northwest Tennessee, but it already shows that National Weather Service up there in Memphis not exactly concerned with the severe weather threat as that energy continues to diminish into those overnight hours. Futurecast, let's go ahead and take it into those overnight hours as a result, and we will see this front just build closer and closer. I'm going to work our way down south into the North Mississippi area on a little bit more of a broad perspective. You're getting at 3 a.m. just these light showers that do develop, a little bit more diminished in intensity from where we were sitting at the 6 o'clock hour. So that's already a lesser forecast than what we had even a couple of hours ago. As we continue through the night, those chances do linger, and by 6 a.m., Franklin and Marion County and northwest Alabama getting the last of those showers. The rest of us here in North Mississippi staying on the drier side. But let's expand things out once again, because as we get towards that late morning, early afternoon, you start to see that stationary front start to take shape in North Mississippi. And as it gets closer to our area, that's where we could get a few showers there by the afternoon, starting to develop this line of showers developing over the top of that stationary front. So that's the big driver in our forecast tomorrow. The potential, I hesitate on even putting 20% in that forecast, but 20% chances in the forecast for tomorrow evening, 10% for the start of the day if you wake up early enough to see those showers. But nonetheless, it's a forecast. Let's go ahead and have that rain gear in the car just in case. But don't really be prepared to use it because it's just going to be that dry of a pattern. Okay, coming up in the next 60, we've been talking about rain, and more rain, but this rain is not going away. This is one that's going to continue to build into the end of the week. We'll track the latest on those rain chances, as well as track how you can give back this holiday season with Chief Meteorologist Matt Lobhon here in the Tupelo area.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
A beautiful shot outside this evening in Cleveland. 64 degrees right now with mostly clear conditions. Winds a little bit breezy out of the south-southwest coming in about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Continue to take shape overnight as we rebuild that moisture here to North Mississippi. 72 in Batesville, 10 o'clock, 72 degrees. Yeah, not exactly what you want in November, but if you're wanting that fall-like air, there is good news moving into next week. We'll track that in just a moment. Dew point currently 64 degrees, continuing to climb as we get into those overnight hours. So a enough moisture in the area to bring in a few showers to the North Mississippi, but not going to be too strong. And that's the good thing about this forecast. Tupelo 66 degrees as well. Looking at temperatures across the region, still 70 showing up in Oxford, Senatobia, and South Haven. This as that line works closer to the Tennessee state line, and the rest of us sitting at about 64 in Starkville, 66 Macon, and 65 around Kosciuszko. Been talking a lot about dew points and that moisture going to be the big driver in this forecast, and disregard Amory, that reporting station not exactly correct, as we know it's not 25-degree dew points right now, but mid-60s is expected, a few low 60s popping up Greenwood, Grenada, and Bruce, but nonetheless that's enough moisture to allow for those showers to continue to build over the top of us and give us some rain chances overnight. Now looking on our analysis mode, of course, a calm evening across the area, and that will continue to remain in place until this line of showers and storms works its way here. But our chief meteorologist, Matt Lobhon, showing us a way this holiday season that we can give back. He joins us in Tupelo, walking us through what we can do here in North Mississippi to give back this Christmas season.
Mid-November, and some people would argue with whether or not we should even have the Christmas tree up. But the folks at Tupelo Smiles have gone a couple steps further, and maybe it's something that should inspire the rest of us. I got the opportunity today to do some shopping to pick up a bunch of gifts for 3 angels from the Tupelo Angel Tree. We got all sorts of clothes. We picked up blankets and toys and more toys. This is some of the folks here at Tupelo Smiles do every single year. And yes, it is November, but the idea is to start the season off in an amazing way and try to make the world around us just a little bit better. If you're looking to support one, the mall at Barnes Crossing has the tree there, and they range in a variety of ages. I mentioned we had the 3, 4, and 7-year-old, but they go down as young as 18 months and into the teenage years. You know, some as simple as diapers and coats, and maybe some more elaborate gifts for others. But in either case, it was an amazing opportunity to be able to go and support these kids and do it alongside of the folks here at Tupelo Smiles that have been doing this for years to just, again, bring a different type of smile to someone's face. But reporting here in Tupelo, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon from Mississippi Live Weather.
Well, thank you, Matt, and it's just such an encouraging time. We know holiday season, Christmas season, we love to give gifts and receive gifts, but we always need to give back during that holiday season. And Matt, I appreciate you and Tupelo Smiles for doing exactly that. And of course, you at home can do the exact same. Go adopt that angel from Barnes Crossing Mall today, and of course, let these kids know that they are loved. And a big thank you to everyone who has already done so, but we encourage you to do so as we enter further into end of November and start of December, perfect time to do so. All right, bringing it back into weather. What are we seeing? Well, we're kind of awaiting this line of showers and storms to continue to build into North Mississippi. As of right now, that line sitting all the way in Truman, Arkansas, and extending well into that northeast direction, that northeast orientation around Dyer, Tennessee. That, of course, working its way into Jackson, Tennessee. But this line is building a little bit further towards the south and west, all the way out there towards Cabot, Arkansas, and Brinkley, Arkansas. This is that line that we're watching, so already showing sporadic development. So this isn't going to be a uniform distribution of rainfall. It's going to be a, did you pray last night? Did you get lucky? And is the Lord going to provide? That's kind of the forecast we're watching. I do want to say, looks like we are getting a bit of an outflow boundary, which outflow boundaries allow for some initiation of a few more showers to develop. So wouldn't be surprised if a few more develop there towards Terrell, Arkansas, and Clarksdale, all the way down that Let's learn interstates today. That I-55 line all the way down towards I-40. Wouldn't be surprised if that were to increase in coverage just a bit. All right, let's track this line out. And we're going to do a very long track on this as we work our way from Humboldt, Tennessee, towards Ripley, towards Covington. We're going to go along that outflow boundary and all the way out here towards Carlisle, Arkansas. These are still moving at about 35 miles an hour. I'm going to take it that direction, and bear with me behind the scenes while I adjust this here real quick. We're going to take it out a good bit and lessen these cities just a bit. So there we get a good look at the Memphis area closer to around 11:02. So within the hour, and then on there towards South Haven, 11:19, Horn Lake, 11:20. And let me take these down just a bit more. So there we get Senatobia by about midnight, West Helena, 11:42. And if we keep it going, let's just keep finding towns. Tupelo, 1:56 a.m. So that lines up well with when we expect these showers to work their way through, but that's if this line holds together. Again, not a ton of energy as this works its way into North Mississippi, but enough to maybe sustain a few of these showers, and that's what we're awaiting on as we get closer. I do want to say severe weather threats, not overly high. The potential for a few small hailstones definitely within this line as we highlight in a few of those. Half-inch hail possible, but half-inch hail doesn't exactly take us over that severe weather threshold. So that severe weather threat still at that level 2 threat, primarily over there towards northwest Tennessee and southwest Kentucky. And that's where we are getting a few of those severe thunderstorms as of the 10:15 hour around the Grayson, Kentucky region. But this isn't exactly going to be a threat that we need to be concerned with. As you can see, we are still a good bit away from that severe weather threat over there towards Tishomingo and Alcorn County, around 32 miles. So this is going to remain well towards our north, and we're grateful for that for sure. That tornado threat still a level 2 out of 5. We did have one tornado warning, but I don't believe that anything was verified with that. So hopefully that continues to remain the case with our damage reports, but always grateful whenever we're able to get out of those warnings with minimal to no damage. Damaging wind risk, that's still one of the main focal points heading into those overnight hours, been upgraded to that slight risk. So wouldn't be surprised to see a few telephone lines knocked down or a few trees knocked over. Large hail risk, also a realistic possibility. A lot of these severe thunderstorms earlier on did have some large hailstones attached to it. So that's been definitely the highest concerns. But if we look over the last 24 hours, we get a good idea. Let me do the composite real quick. We get a good idea at that rainfall output, and of course some heavy downpours possible with 2.5 inches highlighting around the Paris, Tennessee area, well into the Sykeston area where we did have those severe thunderstorm warnings, and into Kentucky, should I say, 2.7 inches, 2.2 inches, Dyersburg, Tennessee already getting 3/4 of an inch. So some brief heavy downpours. That's what we could get, but luckily no severe weather is expected, and we'll definitely take that into those overnight hours. Now looking at our day planner, or should I say night planner, heading into our Tuesday night, midnight, 10% chances, and those 10% chances linger into that 6 o'clock hour as that line of showers works its way on through, or should I say broken line of showers works its way on through. 65 around midnight, only dropping into the low to mid 60s for the start of our Wednesday. So whoever ordered that late summer forecast, we can't escape it. So please wish for November or fall-like forecast, because that's what we should be experiencing around this time of year. As we get into our futurecast overnight, we were talking about tracking out a few of those storms. Of course, Senatobia and Memphis around that midnight hour, but Holly Springs closer to 2 a.m. The potential that these do speed up and go into the Lee County and Prentiss County area, definitely a realistic possibility. But nonetheless, we do see this broken line that does develop and steadily moves its way through North Mississippi all the way down I-22, basically driving down I-22 in this northeast to southwest orientation. That will continue to be the case into that 4 o'clock hour before getting out the door tomorrow morning for the start of our workday. That cold front is the big driver in our forecast, so as that remains over the top of us, we will see the potential for a few showers in the area. Low temperatures just cannot get over this forecast. 62 in Booneville, 64 in New Albany, 64 there towards Grenada. 65 in Greenville. Our normal high this time of year is 64 degrees. Normal high, not normal low. Our normal low should be in the 40s. So this is definitely a mild forecast, mild undersaying it. Honestly, this is a hot forecast for this time of year. 63 degrees around pickup. You could argue that you could get short sleeves and a t-shirt, or shorts and a t-shirt, as we get into our forecast for Wednesday, heading out the door, and be fine in the morning as well as the afternoon with 81 degrees towards drop off. But nonetheless, this is definitely going to be a warmer forecast, abnormally warmer forecast than what we'd expect this time of year. Let's get back into Futurecast, and you can watch how this front becomes more of a stationary orientation, remaining right over the top of us, stalling out and giving us a few more chances at those showers. So you can see by 10:30 already remaining over that Oxford to Booneville to Iuka area. That's where we'll sit for the 12 o'clock hour as well. I will say the one notable difference with what we see at the 10 o'clock hour from what we saw at 6 is where the stationary front sets up. It's going to primarily be a little bit more north than what was originally expected. So folks in Cleveland all the way to Grenada, right around that Highway 82 area, might luck out and stay on the drier side with those showers working their way north. But it shows the difference that we're seeing as each model run comes out, showing that there's not a consistent pattern of where these showers do develop. So if you're heading out the door tomorrow, best case scenario, just have the rain gear in the back seat as that stationary front does develop. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have the latest on that forecast tomorrow morning of where that front does set up. that should give us a better idea. But I would say anywhere from Highway 82 up to Highway 6, somewhere in between those two areas is where we expect those showers to have the highest potential for our Wednesday afternoon. High temperatures. This is a forecast that's unbelievable as well. Our record high temperatures, 82 degrees, set 83 years ago. That has the potential to be tied, if not broken, getting into our Wednesday afternoon. 81 degrees Tupelo, 81 Eupora, Starkville, and 82 towards Kosciuszko. 83 showing up in Greenwood as well as Macon. So a toasty one for sure. But as we get into that further forecast, pushing more into the latter part of our work week, you can see this stationary front remains right over the top of us, and that front starts to lift a little bit more north. So entering into that Wednesday evening, some midweek services might be impacted as well. Light showers are expected to form and remain right over the top of this front as it remains over the Tennessee state line closer to midnight. So have that rain gear ready for any of those late evening plans as well, because if you live north of Highway 6, your chances increase as we get into those overnight hours. Now I'm going to take a step over here to the computer because this is one of our other short range models, our HRR model or HRRR model. Watch how these showers develop into our forecast into our Thursday. This looks a little bit different than what things were sitting at 6 o'clock. So 6 a.m., a few light showers out there towards Cleveland, Greenville, and Greenwood. This out there in the Delta, not going to be anything too impactful or significant, but hey, rain chances are rain chances, especially with how dry things have been. Those start to ramp up a little bit more with more significant showers and potentially thunderstorms developing around Hollandale and Greenville by 9 a.m. on our Thursday. Those gradually building into North Mississippi, getting further into that forecast. And this is a result of that warm sector just taking full force, southerly wind, that lifting mechanism interacting together and allowing for a few showers and storms to take place. So noontime, all across that I-55 corridor and out towards the west. So have that rain gear ready, but those will build east into the rest of North Mississippi getting into our afternoon time frame. So I would not be surprised if these rain chances, we had 30%. Probably going to up it to 40 if this remains true getting into our Thursday. But meteorologist Maggie McCauley will look at this in more detail tomorrow morning for how these models do trend, as it's not exactly been a consistent forecast with our model run. So we're taking it with a grain of salt, but with the moisture already resustaining itself tonight, showing us that the moisture will be there for Thursday as well. So 6 p.m., still dealing with a few of those showers right along the Tennessee state line. That's really the focal point with this forecast, with the best rain chances as the heavier batches move through the Tennessee state line, with more on the back end of this. I'm actually going to go back to this forecast here real quick because I skipped over it, and I want to show you guys what happens on the latter part of the day with where things set up. So let it load in for 1 second, and I'm going to jump it all the way to the 6 o'clock hour. There's what we're expecting getting into our afternoon. You can see that cold front building in a lot of moisture towards central and eastern parts of Texas for Thursday evening. That getting into our forecast by Friday morning and Friday really towards the afternoon. So rain chances are already in place for our Friday night football games. I know that we don't want to be dealing with rainfall. I know that Fridays are an important time, especially with playoffs in action. So make sure to prepare accordingly and make sure to have that rain gear on standby and be ready for a muddy night, all things considered. We're excited for it. We'll embrace it here at the Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week. Again, that is going to be down in West Point. If you missed it at the top of the broadcast, it is still going to be a good time, but a rainy time at that. Brenda, rain gear. Yes, not reindeer. You can bring reindeer, 'tis the season, but rain gear will probably help you a little bit more. Just making sure I'm not missing anything in chat. I see that we have Charlotte from Pontotoc. Charlotte, thank you for joining us tonight. And I see that you are from Pontotoc. Hopefully you're able to join us over there at our Mississippi Live Weather Game of the Week Friday night. You have to drive down to West Point, but excited to see all the folks from the Green Wave and the Warriors and get to talk with them and see some great football as well. Okay, back to the forecast. High temperatures Thursday, potential to tie that record once again. That was set 83 years ago. That record is 80 degrees, and we're expecting that here in the Tupelo area. 83 Houston, 82 Columbus, and 81 out there towards Greenwood. Of course, rainfall is going to help limit how much that heating happens or how much of that heating does take place. So we're paying attention to that as we get further into that forecast. Rain chances climbing as we get towards the latter part of the week. Again, Thursday could argue that could be up to about 40% if that remains consistent. Potentially, we will up that. Friday, 50%, 20% with some of that lingering moisture by Saturday. And into next week, what we talked about at 6 o'clock, our next frontal system pushing in place and giving us our next best threat for some rainfall. Over the next 7 days, up to 2 inches, again, along the Tennessee state line. That remains the hot spot for a few of these showers over the next several days. With the rest of us, you can't complain about an inch rainfall total forecast, so we'll take what we can get. but definitely excited to get a little bit of that rainfall in the forecast. Whenever we look at the regional output, you can see heavier outputs towards Dallas and Shreveport and Little Rock. The potential for that to move a little bit more east and affect us here in North Mississippi. We could expect that. We'll pay attention to this behind the scenes and let you know if that were to shift just a bit. But nonetheless, it's exciting seeing rainfall in the forecast because it's been quite a while since we've gotten significant rainfall at that. So get out there, get the boots on, get the umbrellas out, and have a great time for the latter part of this week. Warm temperatures, once that frontal system pushes in place, does subside just a bit, all the way back into the upper 60s for highs. Lows get into the upper 40s for just a second, because then we start to warm back up before that next frontal system kicks in early next week. So heading into Thanksgiving, it's quite the gauntlet whenever it comes to rainfall, but we are excited because hopefully it takes out a little bit of that drought that's still left in place. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Brenda, it is all good. I just want to make sure you're not taking reindeer to the football games this Friday. Yes, rain gear going to be essential. So I hope you guys have a fantastic night. And again, thank you so much for joining us and supporting us. Go donate an angel. Go ahead and go to the Angel Tree over there at the Barnes Crossing Mall once again, and go again, just take care of a child, surprise a child, and let them know that they are loved this holiday season. And yeah, Christmas is a time to give back, and we appreciate everyone that does so, and we appreciate everyone that is, of course, giving their time to us, watching our stream and staying informed with the latest weather information. We promise not to let you down, and we promise to be here whenever that severe weather does strike. Fortunately, I think we're good this week, but we'll, of course, keep eyes behind the scenes if that forecast does shift just a bit. Our forecast continues tomorrow morning at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley. And, of course, we will be back at 5, 6, and 10 for your Wednesday forecast here at Mississippi Live Weather. Thank you so much, Pam, for the congratulations. I appreciate it so much. My wife and I could not be happier. Baby Cruz on the way, coming in 2026. Can't wait for you guys to meet him, and can't wait to meet him ourselves. It's going to be a good time, and just lots to be happy for. You guys have a happy and safe night. And of course, we'll see you bright and early with a cup of coffee in hand for your morning shows at 6:30.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.